Yesterday, December 12th, Tommy Sotomayor drove from Arizona, his home state, to Los Angeles, California. The residence of Tariq Nasheed, um, who is very different in ideology from Tommy. I think we all know this by now. And he drove over there for an interview with Flat TV, um, you know, just to have an interview. But instead, what he got before the interview, and he claims to have arrived on time when this occurred, was a just confrontation by Tariq that amounted to calling Tommy uh, racial slurs and making reference to his skin color and presenting him with a Coon Award. Now, I agree with the core message of Tommy. I'll let that be a disclaimer. I agree that there are issues within the African American community that need to be addressed, that are not being addressed, and that really continue to hold us back. Um, and these problems are just wide ranging. Now, I would never use the rhetoric that he uses. I won't call people B words or A words because I don't see that as helping to get my message across. And I understand he has a genuine frustration with the way things have turned out for African Americans in this country. Now, with Tariq, I already stated my disillusion with his views when he had the Tucker Carlson interview about 2 weeks ago. I think it was the 30th of last month. Yeah, a little bit under 2 weeks ago. But I still was able to say, okay, this is a man who can retain my respect because he took his views and he's made a loyal fan base. He's gotten popularity that's certainly above anything I could ever imagine for myself. But still, he was able to amass something which is very impressive and should be recognized as what hard work can achieve. However, there's a certain level of pettiness that is involved with going after a person for their physical appearance, uh, going after a person when they are not in the presence of you. If you have such a disagreement with this man, if you have such a frustration with the way he talks about other African Americans, why not have an open discussion with him and state your opinion? He states his opinion. You try to give him rationales as to why you believe in something that he doesn't. And if he doesn't agree with you at the end of the day, don't talk to him, don't watch his videos, move on with your life. That is exactly what I do with Tariq's videos. I don't watch it because I know I won't agree with it, and I know that the content in it is not something I find enjoyable. So, in knowing that, why would you go out of your way to interact with this man? And as far as the death threat thing is concerned, if Tommy said that, he's wrong. But if he, according to him and from all accounts I could see, he said it after a similar threat was made by Tariq, or Tariq made a threat towards him, where he basically said he would ruin his life. Now, I'm not, in favor of the death penalty. I certainly try to discourage from these arguments that lead to physical confrontations, that lead to potential, deadly encounters. But there is such a level of just pettiness involved with what happened yesterday. There's no way to explain it other than to say that if you are a supporter of Tariq, you will and you like what you see, I you know you cannot walk out of that and be under the expectation that someone who is not a fan of his, such as myself, will go and say, "Oh yeah, he won that argument." There was no argument. This was a grown man bullying another grown man who had enough maturity to just say, "Hey, leave me alone," and tried to verbally spar with him. Starts talking about a bald spot on the back of his head And that's the person I'm supposed to view as pro-black. The person who's supposed to be pro-black, who's supposed to be staunchly in support of African Americans, is calling another African American man a racial slur. Explain that to me. How do you justify this? Look, I have had my disagreements with many people on here, and I just don't see a reason to do it. To go above and beyond what is necessary. If you don't like someone, leave them alone. Stay away from them. Move on. Period.